Hello, and welcome to this session covering Zero Trust Network Access from Fortinet. I'm Peter Newton, Senior Director of Products and Solutions, and we'll be talking today about the evolution of virtual private networks. Now, Fortinet's cybersecurity solution is the Fortinet Security Fabric, which is a broad, integrated, and automated solution that covers the entire attack surface, providing a comprehensive view and response to attacks and threats for the organization. Within the security fabric, Zero Trust Access is one of the key pillars, as indicated by the purple dot here next to the FortiOS at the center. For more information on Zero Trust Access, it is about knowing and controlling everyone and everything on and off the network. Now, this is dealing with more than just secure remote access. It is also dealing with bringing users and devices onto the network. But today we're going to be focusing on that secure remote access story of how do you deal with users when they're off the network. And when we think about the solutions that have been around for decades now, the primary use case for, or primary solution for secure remote access is virtual private networks, or VPN. However, there are some challenges with this solution. While it does create secure tunnels over unsecure networks, i.e. the internet, it's a very broad access to the network and can create its own security challenges. ZTNA, on the other hand, is looking to go beyond the broad access that VPNs offer to offer very granular access to the network and applications, and bringing a new means of controlling access to applications. Now, the way the Fortinet ZTNA architecture works is that no matter where a user is, whether they're on the campus or remote, when they go to try to access an application, they will first connect to a FortiOS enforcement point, or FortiOS control. At this enforcement point, it will verify the identity of the user, authenticate that user, if necessary, use multi-factor authentication. It'll also do a device risk assessment and make sure that the device meets the policies of the organization prior to granting access to an application. At that point, it provides access to the application, whether it's located in the data center, public cloud, or if it's a software as a service solution. And in doing so, this reduces the attack surface by not only identifying the user and device, making sure that it's a policy to allow them access to that application, but it's also hiding the applications from the internet so that they only need to be exposed to the FortiOS control point. And I say FortiOS control point and not just a FortiGate or firewall because FortiOS, while it is the operating system of our FortiGate firewalls, it can take many different form factors. It can, of course, be an appliance on-premise, it can be a VM in a cloud somewhere, or it can even be our SASE solution that runs FortiOS. So all of these solutions can support ZTNA, whereby the ZTNA agent, which is in our FortiClient agent, can create those secure connections to FortiOS. Now, one way that this is better than a VPN is these connections, while they are encrypted and secure, providing that same safe transport over unsecure networks, these tunnels are created automatically. So from a user experience, they simply try to access the application, they open it up, a secure tunnel is created in the background, the authentication checks take place, if necessary the user is prompted for username, password, and or multi-factor authentication, but then they're granted access to that application. And for the user, they don't know if that application is in the data center or the cloud. They simply get access to that application. So it's a better user experience as well as reducing the attack surface. And it's easier to manage now because from an administrator standpoint, you now have a single access policy for your applications for all your users, no matter where they are. If they're on the campus or remote, it's the same policy, and they go through the same verification and device checks. So this is really the evolution of VPN. Whereas VPN, the user had to go and fire up a client, create that secure tunnel, and then they would have broad access throughout the network. Here with ZTNA, it's much more granular access. At each session that is initiated by the user, this same process happens of the user verification and the device posture check. So that's bringing that zero trust principles to remote access. One, that it's very limited access. The user gets access to just what they need and no more, but also the ongoing verification of the user and device. From a user standpoint, this is a better experience because it's just easy, it works, and from a management standpoint, it's the same policy no matter where the user is, so they don't have to worry about on-network or off-network, and applications can be easily moved from data center to cloud and still have the same type of access control. Fortinet's ZTNA solution is made up of our FortiOS devices, like the FortiGate, and the FortiClient, who's the agent that sits on the user's devices. Those two are the core elements that make up our ZTNA solution. However, it is enhanced by authentication capabilities, and we do have FortiAuthenticator that can be used, as well as FortiManager is a useful tool when managing and configuring the many firewalls and FortiGates and FortiOS devices, I should say, that are going to be providing ZTNA. The advantages of this solution is, one, it gives the organizations the flexibility to use SASE services or on-premise firewalls or even cloud-based firewalls, and they can leverage existing infrastructure investments as they're deploying new ZTNA capabilities. This also makes it easy to migrate from a VPN solution to a ZTNA solution, as most organizations end up having some elements of VPN even after they transition to start using ZTNA. This also provides the ability to simplify the management because you're still using the same tools as you were when customers were using the security fabric. It's the same tools and management capabilities that are now just picks up a new capability with ZTNA. And the security being applied to the ZTNA tunnels is the full Fortinet security, that award-winning, industry-leading firewall technology that has given us a #1 position in the industry. And finally, a nice advantage of the Fortinet ZTNA is for customers that already have FortiGates and already have FortiClient. This is simply a new feature that comes with the 7.0 release. There's no additional licenses required. This is just a new capability. So it's a great enhancement for those customers that already have that solution. Other customers might need to buy one part of that solution, but it's not that they're buying a ZTNA feature, so to speak. They're getting a full-fledged product, whether a firewall or endpoint fabric agent, and ZTNA just is one of the capabilities of that product. So in summary, Fortinet Zero Trust Network Access is really the evolution of VPN that provides a reduced attack surface, a better user experience, while making it easier to deploy and administer. Thank you.